If you're studying English and want to level up your analysis skills and dive deeper into the power of language, this video is for you. In this series, I'll explain and break down a set of key language devices that will give you the tools to analyse any text with confidence. Whether you're studying for exams or just looking to sharpen your skills, I'll walk you through practical examples from literature showing exactly how these devices work to impact the reader. Let's get started. So, what is a language device? You'll also hear the terms language methods or language techniques used, and they simply refer to the deliberate choices a writer makes with words and phrases in a text. These choices are used to create specific moods or feelings in the reader. It's important to understand that these techniques are about more than just words. They shape how we feel or think as we read. If you're studying for a qualification in English language or literature, it's essential to not only identify these devices, but to also explain how they work. This shows you have an in-depth understanding as a reader. There are literally hundreds of language devices a writer can use, but this series will focus on a smaller set that is common in many texts. To help you remember them, I've created an easy acronym, MATERIALS, where each letter refers to one of the key devices. Each video will introduce, explain, and give examples of one of these techniques. Let's start with M, which stands for mood. Mood in a text is the name for the emotional feeling the reader experiences through the language. Mood is created through various other devices such as word choice, imagery, repetition, or even punctuation. Mood is a great starter for analysing language since, if you correctly identify it, it shows you have a clear understanding of how writers create emotions through language. Let's look at some examples from famous literature. We'll read this short extract from Hill House by Shirley Jackson. As I read, consider the key words which stand out to you. What mood do you think is being created? Hill House, not sane, stood by itself against its hills, holding darkness within. It had stood so for 80 years and might stand for 80 more. Within, walls continued upright, bricks met neatly, floors were firm, and doors were sensibly shut. Silence lay steadily against the wood and stone of the Hill House, and whatever walked there, walked alone. Perhaps you noticed the adjectival phrase, not sane, or the noun, darkness. These words create an eerie or unsettling mood since the reader associates them with danger or unpredictability. We could also highlight words such as alone and silence, which move the mood closer to fear and malevolence. Now let's look at John Steinbeck's description of rural California from his novella Of Mice and Men. Again, consider the key words and what mood might be created as I read it. A few miles south of Soledad, the Salinas River drops in close to the hillside bank and runs deep and green. The water is warm too, for it has slipped twinkling over the yellow sands in the sunlight before reaching the narrow pool. As I read, you should have been able to feel a vast difference from Hill House. In this extract, the mood is peaceful and serene. Steinbeck uses adjectives such as deep and green, twinkling and yellow, which create a calm, natural feeling or mood. Additionally, the warm water and gentle movement suggests tranquility, making the scene feel inviting and relaxing for the reader. So, now you know how mood is created through a writer's choice of words and phrases. It's amazing with just a few words how a writer can shape how we feel, whether it's calm, tense, or unsettling. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for updates on more language analysis videos.